My name is Chef A.B. Sanchez, and this is my Galena Park I.S.D. story. I've went through so many people in my life. I forget a lot of names, so it's hard to say. But Miss Norfleet was my counselor. She's the one that believed in me. She was my counselor in my middle school. She's the one that got me into the alternative school. She's the one that helped change my life. Like after she got me to that alternative school, I was already checked out. Like I was already 2 years behind, gonna be 3 years behind in school. I was already checked out mentally, and she got me into that school. She got me back on track. Miss Norfleet has been, that's like I said, I forget so many people's names, but I'll never forget her name. And that's not a natural name. That's not like Miss Donna, Miss Donners, or you know, something, sister, Mr. Sanchez. But Miss Norfleet is a name that is easy to forget if you don't have a big attachment. So that was my biggest help. Miss Palermo was the food production teacher in school over there. And really, you know, I didn't even know I was going to be a chef back then. So it played in a part when I decided to start cooking. A lot of my focus of my food and stuff, of my cooking and my culinary, it starts to revert back to when I was in high school. And then even home ec, like one of my peach cobblers that I do, I use partial of what I've learned from my peach cobbler from 9th grade. So not knowing that it was going to play a big factor in my future. And then I start cooking and become a chef, went to culinary school, and it's like everything started coming back that I learned. So out of everything I forget, when it plays an important part of the balance in your life, that memory will get attached somehow, even though you don't remember it. I didn't remember nothing until then. So without the teachers and the school pushing me, I would have gave up a long time ago, and not knowing where I'd be now. It's you know, I don't even like to look in those dark closets because, but those dark closets is what, you know, make us who we are. I gave myself a 10-year plan to make an executive chef. Well, 2 years after graduated, I got an executive chef job. I wasn't the greatest at it, but I learned. And then I just, you know, I kept going up and I kept learning, and I went through tons of kitchens, and every kitchen I went through, I was running circles around people with humbleness. I wasn't cocky and thinking I've had them tell me, dude, you're amazing. Like what you do, it takes 4 or 5 people to do what you're doing, 3 people, you know, and I've been told that everywhere. So I knew I was great for something. And then the shows came out, people told me about the shows. I don't have time to watch shows. Kids, work, school, you know, this is what I do. Gym, you know, I changed my whole life. So I found out about the show and I tried out for Master Chef in 2016. I made top 80, which they fly you out to Los Angeles. And then top 40 gets to meet Gordon Ramsay and, you know, start shooting for the show. Well, I made bottom 40. So I meant, you know, so we got sent off, and, you know, it kind of broke me down, but it didn't break me. I'm like, okay, you know, it wasn't my turn. So every step I've been in my life, I didn't let it break me down. I thought, well, maybe it's not my turn. And then before I know it, it's my turn. So it's the same thing. That's what happened with Hell's Kitchen. 2021, signed up for Hell's Kitchen, and, you know, out of 50,000 people trying to get on this show, I made it. So it was like, okay, well, is this going to be like Master Chef? I get out there, it's going to be top 80, and we have to fight for the spot. And, you know, I was ready. But they come to find out, be like, no, you're chosen to be on the show with the top, you know, was 18 people. So, I was excited. I'm like, okay, I got this. You can't, you don't go to a show like that not knowing in your mind, you know, can I win this? If you have to question yourself, then you shouldn't be there. If you go in with a mindset, I could do this, that's everything, your career, schooling, any class, you walk in there with the mindset, I could do this. You know there are gonna be barricades. You have to bust through them barricades, and you have to make your own way. That's how, you know, the greatest people pave their own way. So that's why it's called pave your own way. If you follow somebody else's footsteps, you know, you're gonna have to follow their shadow. So you make your own shadows, and you don't have nothing to worry about to fall on. Yeah, so since the show, yeah, I've done a lot for the communities and the schools. It feels good to go back, especially to the school I came from when I went back to Galena Park. Walking in there and seeing the halls, everything's changed so much because it builds. Everything keeps growing. You know, it's evolution. It keeps growing, and that's how it is with the school. And walking in there and seeing some of the teachers, I seen Officer McGinnis. I was like, wow, you know, he's another person that made a big impact in my life. So he's had a few talks with me, and you know, had me think about some things. I think a lot when it comes back to that. He's one of the persons one of the people I didn't forget. Being able to give back to where you came from, where there was so many opportunities of failure and dead end roads, it's man, it hits the heart, bro, because I was there. I was at a dead end road, you know? It's I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for, you know, the schools that didn't give up on me, because it meant that much to me now. You know, that's why I get so emotionally worked up, because I had nothing, especially what was built for me. So many people give up, and I had people believe in me. So that's part of the one reason why I keep pushing, and that I never let failure settle with me. You know, failure wasn't, it was never an option for me. It didn't matter how hard and how long those tracks got. Failure wasn't an option, so I had to find a way to win.